What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back. Game number 3 here between the STC and HuK. This time we're on Antigua Shipyard, spawning in the upper right spawn location. We have got HuK as the red Protoss player, and over here in the bottom left-hand position, the blue Terran player, the STC. And once again, we are on Antigua Shipyard. This is game number 3. We saw a very quick games 1 and 2. Game 1, the STC moving out with 1 proxy racks and 2 racks pressure, pumping out Marauders and Marines, was able to get into HuK's base and get the quick GG from him. Last game, HuK's like, you know what? I'm going to do a 4-gate. He pushed out with the 4-gate, and because of a proxy pylon in the back of the natural expansion of the STC, which unfortunately the STC was unable or just didn't scout out, he ended up losing the game. Getting Zealots up on your bio is a huge problem early on. Even with concussive shells, lacking stim packs still makes it difficult, especially if you've got units coming from the backside. I mean, the whole thing that you do as a Terran player is as long as you can keep them in front of you, you just pull back and further back and further back and keep using concussive shells. You can't really do that when Zealots are coming from behind you, and he just really wasn't in the position to be able to micro effectively and prevent them from taking out his units. So there you go, that's what happened. But yes, here we are, game 3. As we can see, they are spawning in cross-positional spawn locations. Now, this is going to make that early aggression not quite as effective, except for, you know, like you could still use a you could still do proxy pylons and 4-gear pressure and stuff like that. Could still keep. What are they talking about? If I win, will you still let me keep my phone? Sure. Okay. All right, that's funny. I'm assuming that the STC gave HuK a phone. I don't know. Something like that. We've got a quick expansion coming out for the STC. A very quick expansion. Oh my gosh, this is unreal. The STC filled with a lot of bravado today, feeling like, you know what, I'm just gonna go out with a right away for a command center. I'm not even gonna get a barracks. No big deal. I don't need a barracks. Now we can see over here we have got an assimilator up for a HuK, and he was going gas first, canceling off the gateway, and yeah. There you go. So he's just responding with a quick expansion of his own. Now, he did have a gateway coming. He canceled it. Decided not to cancel the assimilator, or probably actually what's more likely is that the assimilator finished before he scouted it out, immediately making sure that he's not putting any guys on the assimilator, and then went straight for that nexus before rebuilding that gateway there. So there you go. Now he ends up losing some resources as a result of that. You can see 37 resources lost. That is going to be from the canceled gateway that he initially had. So yeah, that's definitely something to think about. That is, you know, putting him slightly behind. It's not a big deal. Trust me, it's not a big deal in the slightest, but it does put him slightly behind, and there you go. Pretty cool stuff there. So the STC starting out with a very, very, very ballsy quick expansion, but it ended up working out because HuK decided, instead of trying to push out with early aggression, that he would just quick expand himself, and he's feeling pretty comfortable with that. We'll be coming out with a Marine, and he is deciding to move across the map with it. Nope, just checking that third. He's actually looking to see if there is a probe that will be prepared to move in for secondary scouting. He's also checking for any possible proxy pylons, because he doesn't know, when he initially sent out this Marine, he did not know that there was expansion up, but now with his SCV scout, he is aware of that. First gateway is up, second gateway finishing as well. Here comes that Cybernetics Core. Now, you might ask, why did he go 2 gateways before Cyber Core? That was just to ensure that he could defend himself from possibly some like early Marine bunker aggression or anything like that. He wanted to make sure that he had that, especially going in such a delayed first gateway. That second gateway became pretty pivotal. So you can see just getting out that Zealot to try to shoo off that one SCV scout over there. He's actually also going to be moving out with his probe, and where is he going with this? Up into this corner, we will be seeing a pylon getting dropped up here, and just look at how close that is going to be to the STC. So especially come the late game, that's going to be a very effective pylon that could certainly come into play as long as the STC doesn't end up scouting it out. Seeing racks heavy right now, do expect the STC to come out bio heavy. That is certainly a very effective and popular tactic in the TVP matchup as a Terran player. Now, as to what HuK is going to do, well, hopefully we see gateway heavy mix plus Colossus play. That's again going to be a strong tactic. Besides that, he could also try to work up into High Templar play. He definitely has a lot of options in that sense. Now, he will come out with another 2 gateways, maybe even 3. Yes, another 3 gateways. I do still want to see that robotics, though. I think that's pretty vital there. Ooh, 4 more gateways. That'll be 6 gates. Is he going for number 7? If we see a 7th gateway, then HuK's pushing out off of 2 bases. There it is, 7 gateways. Oh, please don't tell me he's going for 8. Is he really? Okay. This is unbelievable. He will be sitting with 8 gateways. We will be seeing an 8-gate push here from HuK, and that is nuts, absolutely nuts, but he will most certainly be pushing out. There's no doubt in my mind about that. Trying to drop another proxy pylon. Very indicative of his planned aggression there, coming out with actually 2 pylons so close to each other. That pretty much is a dead giveaway to the fact that he plans to push out sometime very soon. Now look, lots of Marines streaming out here for the STC. No attachments on these racks yet. He's just churning out Marines. He's planning some early Marine pressure of his own, so some early aggression also planned for the STC after his quick expand, but also at the same time, we've got a 3rd coming up. Now we've got some units warped in over here. We got a few sentries as well as Zealots. Units trying to move up with the rest of their group, but they are cut off there by that heavy Marine aggression. HuK deciding to just push out with his gateway units instead of trying to intercept this hefty amount of Marines. He's just going to push out against the STC. Unfortunately, not able to do much damage at all. And here comes the impending doom ball of Marines trying to get some more warpins in. Now he's got 8 gateways. He just needs to buy a little bit more time to get 1 or 2 more warpins, and he should be okay. Cutting off a few of those Marines, allowing the Zealots to get up. That is beautiful. Trying to warp in a couple more Zealots here up front as well. Sentries need to be careful. Trying to pull back. No, unfortunately, not able to micro those. He wants to keep them engaged. That beautiful force field wall, though, is pretty much going to save HuK here. My concern, though, is that he had planned for that type of aggression and wasn't able to do it because of this counter push by the STC. Just beautifully timed as well. That was actually a perfect kind of counter response. You know how they say the best defense is a good offense. Now the STC didn't do much damage there, but he pretty much effectively prevented HuK from pushing out with the full front of his 8 gateway push that he had planned, and you can already see right now HuK is planning for that transition, given the fact that his timing was delayed for that initial push. Now the other thing to consider as well, okay, we got a robo coming out, that'll get an observer, but with that push, the STC also had a 3rd coming up, so as long as he defends himself here against this counter aggression that it does appear like HuK will be coming out with, as long as he defends himself against that, he's going to be sitting pretty economically, and he'll be in a very, very strong spot. So you can see pushing up, testing that frontal wall. He's going to be spotting those 2 bunkers. In addition to that, we've got a lot of bio outside of the bunkers. Here comes an SCV, and he will be for scouting purposes. You can see just chilling out front there. He wants to see if he does walk into HuK's army, how much he has, what he has, everything like that. Also some more scouting units moving out, checking for possibly proxy expansions. Also probably looking for those proxy pylons. It's very likely as well. SCV scout moving up and checking the 3rd. Just look at the STC being so active right now with those SCVs. He's just checking everywhere with them. Scouting information, so very vital, so important indeed. I mean, he knows right now that HuK is not on 3 bases. Cut off there by the force field, losing the SCV. Again, we've got that robotics facility up. He is also coming out with a robotics bay. At the same time, also coming out with a Twilight Council. There's the Twilight Council, there's the Forge. I don't know where the bay is right now. Oh, looks like it is right there. So there we go. Colossus will be in the works right now for HuK. But again, the STC already has his 3rd up and running, getting some mules down on there as well, and HuK just now dropping his 3rd. So again, this is the concern at the moment. Now, the one thing that I would like to see actually from HuK is if he pushed out once he gets a decent number of Colossus, we're thinking about 2 to 3, then he could try to punish the STC for coming out with this quick expansion. But you know what, the more time the STC has, the better off he's going to be. You can see right now actually moving into that frontal position, just making sure that he can defend his 3rd without having to deal with any force field contains while HuK pushed onto that 3rd expansion. So very nice relocation there. We do have an observer for HuK scouting out the fact that there is this forward position taking place here for the STC. The STC just buying himself some time right now. He has got Ghost coming out into play, and besides that, what else do we have? I don't even think we have got no medevacs right now. Hasn't worked his way into starport play at all. Just now dropping that starport, also coming out with that reactor to allow him to pump out those double medevacs as well as those double Vikings. But Colossus are a-coming. First one already in production. No, he's already got 1 in play, so he's got another one coming on through. In addition to that, so he'll be sitting at 2 now. At the same time, the STC is making an attempt at a push here. I think HuK should be all right against that with this 1 Colossus in place, 2nd one very close, and enough sentries to lay some pretty decent force fields. He's got 6 sentries right now. He should be A-okay against this. The STC actually just pulling back, comfortable with the fact that he was able to actually just destroy those destructible debris. He's going to pull back and save that aggression for a later date. Now we have got Ghost coming into the mix as well. In fact, sitting with 3 Ghosts right now. And a lot more bio joining up with that main force. So the STC actually having a pretty formidable force here at the center of the map. Now with that observer scout, HuK does see this coming. This is actually a big concern, but I think still he's got enough, especially since that second Colossus has just come in. And hopefully if he lands some solid force fields, he should be okay. Here comes the push right now. Stim going down. We're going to see some major EMPs, and there they are. All the shields gone for a majority of those gateway units, but look at how powerful those Colossus are. HuK just tore through the STC's army. The STC now in retreat mode, deciding it's time to head on back. We've got a factory scout moving out. He decides to retreat as well. That was just beautiful force field placement there by HuK, and also getting his zealots right up on the front of the line. Excellent play. This, of course, forces the STC right now to come out with some Vikings. He needs to be able to deal with those Colossus. You just saw how devastating that was. 7 kills and 12 kills there for that one Colossus. Terrible damage. terrible damage indeed. Now, one thing that we should be seeing sometime soon from the STC is some drop harass. It is something that I do expect to come into play, and HuK already preparing for that. You can see moving down. He expects it as well, moving down with some stalkers, getting a few cannons there as well. Same thing happening over here. He is just prepared to defend against that. Not too concerned about defending this one because any dropships would have to bypass this angle and that angle, so he would see them in time to pull back with units if necessary. We have a couple Marines over here, so we have to keep an eye out there, and actually moving on over, transferring some guys in that medevac and taking an expansion over in this position. So at the moment we do have the STC moving on into his 4th expansion. A couple stalkers will be moving down to try to intercept that and do some damage, and they actually have a phenomenal opportunity. But with a scouting SCV, again, the STC is just all on top of, you can just see, look at how much blue is all over the map. I mean, he is just so on top of just pushing out with SCVs and factory scouts, and chilling out over here with a little bit of bio as well, just making sure that he's got constant vision as to what's going on. Now we did see that HuK actually scouted out the fact that a medevac was moving across that pylon, and in response, again, just making sure that he's prepared to deal with any possible drops that may be taking place. But I think just with these photon cannons, he really should be okay. That'll at least buy himself enough time to get additional warp-ins or take some reinforcement units to defend wherever a drop is taking place. Secondary scouting, Marines finally coming into play. They'll be moving straight on up into HuK's expansion. At the same time, we've got HuK at the center of the map with the bulk of his force. He has got control of the Zelnaga Tower. Finally have got some decent amount of Vikings in play, and those Marines quickly taken out there. Zealots actually getting warped in over here, and here we go. We do have an engagement moving in the center of the map. Charge Zealots moving up on that bio. We've got the Vikings trying to target fire down those Colossus. We've got 3 Colossus right now. Charge Zealots continuing to chase down the bio army here of the STC. The STC forced all the way back. He's got some more ghosts, landing some clutch EMPs on those Vikings to much more easily take out those Colossus, but still HuK with so many units continuously forcing the STC back. Very effective there by HuK. HuK is in a very strong position. You can see how far behind right now the STC is in terms of resources lost. These first 2 large engagements have not gone in the favor of the STC, not at all. He is taking terrible losses to the Protoss Death Ball that HuK has been presenting him with. We do have some Vikings actually leading the way there for the STC's army to attempt to snipe off some Colossus, but as we can see, we've got HuK pulling on back now to defend that high yield expansion. He's also made that transition into Archons. Massive upgrades coming up for HuK. Sorry I haven't paid attention to these as of yet. We've got 2-2 right now, and level 3 weapons just about finished. Level 3 armor coming on through. Now what about the bio for the STC? He is just 2-2. He's also working on 3-3. It does appear like he is slightly behind, especially with the weapons though. He is behind on that. He's got 0-1 for his air units as well, so get some upgrades there. Blink research now coming out, also starting up that shield research there. So HuK going into that ever elusive Protoss shields level 1. So very rarely do we actually see that research in professional gameplay, but still. It's pretty much the last thing. It's pretty much the last thing people end up getting. Level 2 weapons, so constant upgrades, lots of macro coming through, but as you can see right now, we've got HuK moving forward with an aggressive stance right now, and he's prepared to engage. We do have some High Templar in the mix as well. He'll be trying to land some feedbacks and storms with that. Vikings in position to try to take out this Colossus. There are some feedbacks. Nice EMP though, taking out all of the energy of those High Templar. Forced the attempted creation of that Archon. That ended up getting taken out though. Vikings pushing forward. They'll be walking into some Stalkers right now. Bio stimming up a little prematurely. He'll be trying to chase down HuK. HuK is well advised to push back right now and wait till that stim pack actually dissipates, and he's actually pushing all the way back. Now I'm a little bit concerned right now because if the STC takes control of the center of the map, HuK will be losing this expansion, and the STC has been safely mining over here for quite some time now. So there you go. HuK definitely needs to hold on to this, and hopefully we actually see him at some point soon move into a 5th expansion. I would really like to see that. Again, continuous upgrades. He is supply capped right now, so just keeping continuously getting upgrades. The STC actually coming out with an expo over here. HuK preparing for another engagement. He's getting ready to push across. It looks like the STC is actually moving in the opposite direction right now. Here comes the engagement. Guardian Shields going down. Vikings straight for those Colossus. Charge Zealots moving in. There's a stim pack. We've got some SCVs joining the ranks as well. Colossus get taken out quickly. Some beautiful EMPs, but the Charge Zealots overpowering the bio, and enough anti-air to take out the rest of the Vikings, and HuK will be continuing his push right now. The STC, realizing he's about to lose, just throws in the towel. There you go, my friends. That is it. Game number 3 going to HuK. HuK takes the series 2-1 after losing the first game, responding with a 4-gate, and then winning this macro game here with some very beautiful engagements. And unfortunately for the STC, those first 2 large engagements went very poorly for him, and this third one was completely one-sided. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the series. As always, if you like the content, please subscribe. Thanks for watching. Keep watching and keep owning.